Okay, so welcome. We are here today to talk about embodied awareness and especially about attention.
Mm-hmm.
A while ago, we did a workshop about embodied awareness, and maybe you can, in a few sentences, explain what it was about or what we're talking about when we speak about embodied awareness.
So the most immediate experience we have is the experience of being here or being embodied.
Mm-hmm.
We have it. It's such an intense experience that we tend to lose it. That we tend to shrink it. We go into our heads.
Mm-hmm.
People say, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but this is actually the foundation of everything that we experience. It's a body. It's embodied.
That we have a body or that we are a body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we wanted to cover this as the foundation, as the groundwork, to open human experience to be more accessible. And what we tried to do in the workshop was to make the exercises and training not to achieve something extra, but first of all to come back home.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say to go back into feeling who am I now?
Yes.
How do I experience this moment? And not necessarily what I have to achieve through my body, but to take a step back and to sit as if I am my own armchair.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit back in whoever this person is. And we discovered also the differences between us and how individual and unique we are.
Yes.
So for each one of us, this is a different home,
Mm-hmm.
and it's home.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful also to see the atmosphere in the end. When people came home, we all had a home together. It was very collective. It was beautiful in the air to feel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you also established it as the kind of the definition of being alive, that everything that is alive lives in a body.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's interconnected. You cannot have life without a body where it lives, basically.
And there is something very sharp about this, because sometimes it strikes us like, whoa, life is embodied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And life is embodied, but it's not a dead object. It's alive in a way that it also has awareness to its surrounding.
Mm-hmm.
So to the surroundings we are aware of, and then we can also start to look at what does it mean to be aware of my surrounding intentionally.
Mm-hmm. But really the very, very first step was to become aware that we are aware.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Beautiful.
Really very, very physically tuning into, this is my home. This is me.
Yeah. And the first layer of this, I would say, is embodied awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that we are now sensing the entire field of awareness that I am, even though I don't feel everything at once. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of information. So, but the first layer is the feeling of being there. Mm-hmm. We know it also from neurological studies that there is such a thing as the feeling of what is happening.
Yes.
And to start to train it, to start to raise it, to make it more intense, to play with it. Mm-hmm. You suddenly start to play with the presence. Mm-hmm. You can move to your legs, you can move to your shoulders, you can breathe.
Mm-hmm. And it really changes the way you experience life.
Yeah, because you become the matrix.
Yeah.
You become the canvas. We spoke about it a bit, like the color and the artist and the person looking at it. Like you can become a multi-layered role player in your very being. I find it beautiful. It's like a form of art.
Yes.
So, yeah. But this was the embodied awareness, which is more like a general thing.
The ground floor.
Groundwork. And then we spoke about attention.
Yes.
Naturally, it brings us to the next thing.
Yes. So what is it? Why is it important? Why does it matter? What is this layer of attention? How is it not the same also?
Mm-hmm. So this is a super deep question. We'll try to
I asked many questions in one.
It's okay, but it's good. Within this larger awareness that we are, and again, we will say the word awareness a lot, and I hope it will not be tiring to hear, there is a very rich sea of sensations, emotions, feelings. Even now, if we really pay attention to the room, there is a lot. sounds, visual input. What attention does is it narrows down the window. It takes down a lot of the background noise and allows us to focus. Nowadays, we even say how badly we need it because we need to focus. One of the options of attention, it's a bit like an octopus. It can shapeshift. It's the ability to morph, to play with its focal point and with depth, and it in a very malleable way, but it narrows down the horizon to allow us to work specifically with something, let's say, in front of us.
So as if we have this landscape of embodied awareness, and with our attention we travel to one point or one area, one aspect. It's like
exactly. You need the landscape, let's say, to focus on one part. Let's say a tree or a squirrel. You cannot lose the landscape because then you don't have any reference, any meaning, any context. The beauty of it, you need the landscape and you need to be in the landscape, but you need the focus in order to go somewhere that you wish to go, to deal with something you want to deal with. This what makes awareness so important, is the ability to bring ourselves to a focal point.
Attention, now you mean?
Yes. And to delve, to go in. This is like a vehicle that has a drive. This is the thing that makes it so crucial. And I would dare say it's a priceless resource that we have. It's like a superpower. But just like any other superpower and any other priceless resource we can imagine, it requires a good user. You have to master your powers. Like it's not only Spider-Man.
Yeah, and it's really when you
it's
speak.
All of us. We have responsibilities in a way to those powers that we have.
Yes, and when you speak about it with this direction of going in, or like the choice in this, and it really feels powerful, this movement of like, okay, I choose to go here.
Yes.
And
this is what it means to be behind it. So people can do it when they do martial arts and they learn to be behind a punch. They can do it behind playing music. They can do it behind meditation. But the quality that we are interested in here is not this or that way of doing it. It's the being it before you enter the stage. Like an actress, you know it. Before you enter, there is this enormous energy and excitement.
Hopefully there is.
Hopefully, yeah, for all of us. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying, let's say that you have a priceless car. You just got yourself, I don't know, I'm not so familiar, but a Bentley or one of those Ferraris, and you drive it drunk. Drunk driving with a wonderful car. It's a priceless car. But God knows what will happen. So it's a priceless resource for those of us that learn how to use it, how to be behind it, respectfully, responsibly, owning.
So you already name that we can learn how to do that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
This will maybe be also another topic, how to, but just as a little spoiler, it is possible to train it and to work with what is given you, because we come with very, very different abilities to focus.
Yes, and we also come from different educations and different religions and different ethnic groups and different forms of how attention is applied. Yeah,
but we can train it and learn and...
Yeah, this is very crucial what you say now, because you can learn it, we can train it, we can rehabilitate it, we can heal it. We can learn how to... It's a relearnable capacity that we have. And just before maybe we conclude a certain episode, a mini-sode of this talk, because there is a lot to say, and I don't want also to overwhelm people when they hear it in the beginning, and not to scare anybody, because it's not complicated actually. It's very much built into our abilities. Like Daniel Goleman says in this wonderful talk, I think he gave in Google, the we have to pay attention to attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very sweet sentence. Like attention, we tend to be blind to attention. So we have to start to learn. And while he's talking to the Google people, he says, actually, I just now realized that I'm talking to some of you that are the engineers of all the tech devices that are actually stealing away our attention. Mm-hmm. And there was a kind of a murmur and laughter in the yeah, exactly. So this is something worthwhile to mention. We live in a time that a lot of what we hear about attention comes with a negative tag. Yeah. There is less attention, there is attention deficits, there is ADHD.
The attention span
is shrinking. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of issues with attention, of course. So we will talk about this. We will go into this. But it is important from the outset to also give a positive tone. We are able to relearn how to be attentive. Mm-hmm. We are able to relearn how to own, just like with the body, how to re-own, reclaim, regain our attentive resources. There is a lot that can be done, and it's not in the sky. It's not up there that you cannot reach. It's a superpower that you already have. It's not something that you have to climb the Himalaya in order to reach. So I would leave it at this.
Yes.
And living in that, we can go back to the deeper aspects of it. But this would be just, I would say, a first.
Yeah, and this is what the second workshop will be all about.
Yeah.
Attention and how to train it, and we will train it.
Yeah. And we will experience how it moves and how we move with it. So it's almost like working with a tool, but now that the tool is within you, it's already you. You just have to wake up to the fact that you are using it and just make it not on autopilot, but more intentionally activated. That you can work with it with a wish. Yeah. So we're ready to go?
Exciting.